Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, species around the multiverse, welcome to Geek Syndicate episode 286. And what are we here to do? I'll tell ya. We are bringing the sass back to geekdom. I am Monts, and with me as always is...
Captain Nuge reported to GE, or I should say First Officer Nuge, because technically
Nuge.
You're supposed to be the captain.
Yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah. That's all right, man, because, you know what I mean, that means I've got to go rogue and shit at some stage. Do you know what I mean? Take command.
Yeah,
Captain Monteith, I'm relieving you on the standard audience of Starfleet 5462. Take his weapon.
I always wondered about that, because, like, what if you're wrong? You know, I mean, surely everyone's got to make a call on the bridge at that point.
To be honest, though, at some stage, right, everyone's going to, you know what I mean, at some stage, you've got to get relieved of duty. That's like standard if you're in Starfleet.
True.
It's like standard things in Starfleet, right? One, you're going to have a fight with a Klingon at some stage.
Yeah.
Two, you're going to initiate a self-destruct on your ship only to like turn it off in the last 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Unless you're Kirk, you know what I mean? He's just badass and takes it all the way.
Yeah.
And three, and you're going to get relieved of duty.
Fair enough.
Oh, and you're gonna break the Prime Directive at least 6 times in your career.
Yeah. Probably within seconds of your show starting.
Yeah, pre-credit sequence. Yeah. F the Prime Directive, we're going in.
Yeah. I'm sure that Prime Directive was there for a reason.
Yeah, I just think, sorry people, we'll get into the intro properly in a bit. I just think the Prime Directive, man, it's a bit nonsense, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean? It's just, who could do it? Who could do it?
Do you know what I mean? It's just like, so basically you can go to planets and you can, because you can go to planets, you can mess up their shit so long as they don't know.
Yeah. Or you can go to, what is it? So what is it? You can't be revealed to people who are like pre-industrial age or something like that.
Yeah, you can't interfere with the development of a sort of, you know what I mean, backward species or something like that.
Well, yeah, but that's a close thing. How are you describing that backwards? Because we might have different definitions of backwards.
Well, that'd be you.
Maybe that'd be me.
Do you know what I mean? So they'd probably be eating a few your ass for years. Okay, that came out wrong.
Yeah. Wow. Let's just start, shall we? Properly.
Okay.
Let's leave that one where it is.
Geek Syndicate. Yeah, episode 286.
Yeah. So I just want to say congratulations to all my voiceover people who've been nominated for finals in these New York Voice Awards. And the reason that's on my mind is that while you were at Thought Bubble this week doing comics, I was in Camden Town doing a voiceover convention, and I got to meet a guy called Dave Peacock. And Dave Peacock, he did the casting for Thunderbirds. That just got me all excited right there. But he's also doing the casting for a new Netflix series next year, an animated one called Hilda, which is based on... I thought you were going
to say Hillbilly.
No, Hilda, which is based on the comics by Luke Pearson, which I've had the pleasure of reading over the last few years, every time we've done the Young People's Comic Awards. And every year, it's made the cut to the final comics to be judged by kids, because it's just quality, and it feels like some kind of Scandinavian Moomin comic, but it's written by a guy from up north. So it's just, but every single one is just quality. And when I heard it was going to be made into an animated feature on an animated series on Netflix, I was just so excited. I'm really happy for Luke Pierce. I think that's his name. Good. What is his name? Instead of getting it wrong, but I'm just really happy for him because it's a really deserving comic to get that treatment. And if it's anything like the book, it'd be really pretty to look at as well.
I tell you, man, it's starting to get to the stage now where
Luke Pearson, sorry, that's his name.
Okay, yeah. Well, my sort of subscription to Sky is like it's struggling. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I just find now that a lot of the stuff that I'm watching is coming out of Netflix and Amazon.
Well, you know what? All I've got now is Netflix and Amazon, and I don't need no more.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard because, like, I don't know. Everyone's coming out with a streaming service. So what you've got to do at the end is sit down and work out which service it's going to be on. And sometimes that's not always easy.
Yeah. And I think the thing is as well is like you said, there's a lot of new streaming ones picking up, because I'm sure someone was saying to me the new kind of X-Men sort of mutant show is like being streamed. I'm sure I heard that somewhere, but I could be completely misinterpreting it, not to be confused with Inhumans, because boy,
did you watch that?
Nope.
No, I heard. Do you know what? I don't often pay attention to what people are saying on the internet stuff. But when everybody, I mean, everybody is slating it, not one positive word, not one.
I mean, I'm not saying I'm not going to give it a go, but I'm just saying, like, I've got to trip over it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's got to be like late at night. I've had a few beers, I'm flicking channels and it's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where it's got to now. That's not to say I'm not going to watch it. I'm just saying it's going to be under like drunken terms.
Wow.
I know. But on the more positive note, obviously I was at Thought Bubble, not just doing comic-y stuff, but I was also launching the sequel to my novel Fallen Hero. So I was launching Forgotten Warriors, which is the sequel. And I just wanted to say thanks to not only everyone that came along, said hello and picked up a copy, put money in my skyrocket, that's pocket. But
translation.
You know what I'm saying?
Copy translator.
Copy translator. But also to all those people that came up who actually listened to Geek Syndicate, actually took the time, came up, said hello, was fantastic. I can't remember all your names, so apologies for that. But I certainly want to give a shout out to Jeremy Carter, who came up with his son. And Jeremy, you'd recommended a comic, which was Mega Robo
Bros quality.
Yeah. And basically, he told me that review got his son into comics.
Brilliant. Mega Robo, that's a good entry, that is.
Yeah. You know, also Boris Fraser, who's actually a long time listener, and I've realised when I was talking to him, and then he told me his sort of handle on Twitter. It didn't twig before, but he's Seraph.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
See, that's the problem with our online personas.
And another fella came up, and his name really escapes me, which I'm gutted about because actually I had quite a long talk with him, and yeah, he had a lot of stuff to say about Geek Syndicate, a lot of positive stuff to say.
Oh, phew, thank goodness.
So that was fantastic. So I just want to give a big shout out to all you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Thought Bubble was good. Boom. It's my review of Thought Bubble.
Excellent. It was good.
It was good. I didn't get a chance because this one was different because it was they'd sort of spread it out, so it was in the city centre.
Mm-hmm.
And for those people who don't know what Thought Bubble is, it's basically a massive.
Okay.
Yeah, so it was. Thought Bubble is a massive festival anyway that sort of goes on for the week, but it kind of concludes with a 2-day Comic-Con. And this time around, because before it used to be in the Royal Armouries, like in that sort of square bit, was this time around it was actually in the city centre.
Was that better? Was that what?
Well, what they did was they actually had 5 locations. And 4 of those were marquees, and one, which is where I was actually in the Leeds Town Hall, which was an epic venue. Let me tell you, it looked like something out of Ghostbusters, man. There's some shots you can see some shots on social media of it. It's just epic. Lighting wasn't too hot in there though, but still. And there was a marquee directly outside. There was another marquee about 2 minutes up the road. I mean, all the marquees were kind of relatively close to each other. I didn't get a chance to go to all the marquees because I was kind of behind the table for the whole weekend. So I only checked out sort of 2 of them, but it was good. It was good. It was a good mix of people. The creativity there, Monts, just off the chart, mate. Yeah. Off the chart. And for all those people that kind of talk about, you know, we don't see enough sort of women at comic conventions and stuff like that. Seriously, to me, that it looked like a 50-50. It's certainly in the hall I was in anyway. And the amount of people that came to my table, I would have certainly said it was almost a 50-50 split. And it wasn't just this whole, you know, I'm only here because my boyfriend's here type nonsense. That wasn't going on. So, yeah, it was very hard not to come back from that convention and not just to get home and start creating straight away. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wish I was there, except I was glad I was where I was. But, you know.
Yeah. I was glad you were where you was as well. But...
Wow. Okay.
On that note.
Yeah. So, you said you had some news you wanted to talk about.
Yes. Over to the Newsmobile. I was just having a little bit of a breather to give myself a chance to walk over to the Newsmobile.
Okay.
You know? But I'm here now. It's all good. It's all good. Right. So my bit of news is they've announced some casting for season 3 of Into the Badlands.
Okay.
Now, they've got some recurring guest stars and stuff. I'm not really going to get into all of that. What I want to talk about is basically they've announced 3 series regulars.
Okay.
I'm going to do them in order of importance, right? So Ella Ray Smith plays Nick, a teenager who Pilgrim loves like his own child. He uses her dark abilities to enforce his will. Okay. And then we have Babu Cisse, I'm sure I've pronounced all this wrong, plays Pilgrim, a zealous warlord who is on a quest to recover a mysterious artifact from Azra that could tip the balance of power in the Badlands. Boy, my boy best have some fighting skills, man.
In it.
With that read up. But the number 1 series regular that I wanted to say is Sherman Augustus returns to the Badlands after being introduced as Nathaniel Moon, the former regent who lost his hand to Sonny in season 2. Do you remember him?
Yeah, he was. I liked him.
Moon joins forces with the Widow in a war against Baron Chow in the hopes of avenging his feud with Sonny. Come on! Because I thought he was a wicked character and was underused.
Yeah.
Just because he was such a good character and then he was gone and I was like, oh, man. So the fact that he's coming back in season 3 is great news. And my boy's got to be pissed because Sonny took his sword and everything, man.
And he's using it as well, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. It's much like that time when you borrowed my Ultraviolet DVD and never returned it.
I swear, I bought it, man. It was in my house It was wrapped. It was wrapped.
You know what? You keep telling yourself that, man. You keep spinning that fable, man.
Because I loved it. You must have lent it to someone you can't remember. That's what I'm saying.
No, you're right, Dave. I did lend it to someone.
No, you know what you need to do? You need to go find a yurt with some shaman who can help you do a memory regression.
You know what you need to do?
No, I'm keeping it.
Hey, you mentioned shaman, right? I got to give a quick shout out. Because just really randomly, I was bored the other day and they've got Gotham's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Right? And I just like, you know what, let me just stick it on. And I stuck it on in some random episode once, right? And like, all of a sudden, Bruce is in the Himalayas getting trained. I'm like,
there's some trade. Okay, I need to catch up now.
I was like, what the hell have I missed? It had Bruce being trained. You had, who was that? Who was the, you know when they did the reboot, not the reboot, but you know, Jason Aaron sort of took over Batman.
Yeah.
He did that storyline with the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
Once the Court of Owls is in it.
Yeah, but you know what? The only problem here is...
No. Hold up. Before you say that, right, I had the same thought. But check it. When you look at the Jason Aaron run, right, what they were saying was the Court of Owls was around from Time.
No, I get that. That's what I was going to say. I was going to say, there's so much happening. By the time he's Batman, there ain't going to be nothing left to do. Everything's going to be sorted.
I am darkness. I am the night. I am Batman. Who wants to fight me? Tumbleweed rolls past. Yeah.
Well, okay.
But you know what, right? I'm just treating it as Elseworlds now.
Yeah, of course.
It's all good because Jim Gordon, they ain't no by the book Jim Gordon that I remember. Man.
And you know that whole by the bookness was essential to the character Jim Gordon, man. And look, Elseworlds, man. Every time I start to struggle, I just go Elseworlds. It's all good. Yeah.
But yeah. All I'm saying, right? Bruce has got some skills now, Monts. He's got skills, and I'm like, I don't know what I missed, but I'm all over it now.
Okay, I have to get back on that then.
Just like I said, just read the synopsis, pick an episode, and just dive in. What I quite liked is actually the recaps are pretty good at it, so I didn't feel like I'd missed anything.
So what, did you jump to season 3 then, or what?
Yeah, I'm on season 3, like episode 15. Do you know what I mean?
Because I'm still on like season 2.
Yeah, forget that, man. Just skip on.
Okay, all right.
Live on the wild side, you'll feel better for it.
All right, cool.
All right.
Yeah, nice.
Reviews.
Time for a review. Yeah, hold on.
That we call that the week that was.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen, for the week That was...
If only you truly were falling down the bottomless pit to Hades.
Boy, you're on it today, aren't you? Right, let me get my figure out.
Just gonna leave that there.
So, I just want to talk about American Gods.
Oh, okay.
So, have you watched any of that?
Nope.
So, American Gods is based upon a book by Neil Gaiman, in which basically the gods of old have fallen on hard times. So, like, you know, you might see one in New York because a cab driver turns out he's a god of whatever else, but you know, worshippers are a bit hard to come by these days. And essentially it's about the coming war between the old gods and the new gods. So the new gods are like media, technology.
Okay.
So basically it's things that people worship now in all but name.
Yeah.
And it starts off with this guy called Shadow, and he gets released from prison 3 days early because his wife has died, which is just harsh, man. And he meets this guy called Wednesday, who, you know, offers him a job, basically. Mm-hmm. And it don't take much to figure out that Wednesday is Wotan, who is basically a god of old.
Right.
And hijinks ensue. And when I say hijinks, I don't really mean hijinks because things are rough, man. My boy, I'm on episode 2. My boy's been beaten up badly 3 times already. Yeah. And he's actually an English actor who I remember him back in the day on stuff like
Was he in Hollywood?
Yeah, he was. And he was on a football show, Dream Team on Sky TV.
Wow, that's going back a way.
In it. So he's doing well. So my first mistake, boy, this program's harsh, B. It's harsh. Because every episode seems to start with like different gods coming to America, but they come through their people. So the first one is like about some Vikings that find America, and like they're appealing to their god to get back home. And because their god's a god of war, what they have to do to get his attention is, I was sitting there going, this is only first 5 minutes, man, and it's already harsh. Blood has been shed in the worst possible 5 minutes in.
Right.
So
I think that's part of the reason why I hadn't checked it out yet, you know.
Well, the second thing I discovered is so it's Amazon, so you can download it on your iPad, watch it on the train, which is where I do most of my watching. Second thing I discovered was, do not watch that show in public. Oh my God. There's some woman, she must be the goddess, I'm guessing here, she must be the goddess of fertility or something, boy.
Right. Because
her way of getting worship, boy, do not have sex with that woman. It'll be good, but you don't really want to go that way, man. I'm not even going to explain to you what happens, but I'm on the train surrounded by people, and this explicit scene comes on, and you know when you get a bit flustered and you forget how to do basic things like press pause, and I'm like, where's the pause? And you press it and the pause icon comes up, and then you go for it, but you press it again so it disappears, and you got to press it, and I'm like, okay, and it's just getting worse because I'm making movements so people are noticing.
Starting to attract attention
and
now.
I'm blatantly flustered. and I'm thinking, well, at least they're not going to focus on this for too long. And it's still going.
Oh, man.
I was like, okay, all right. I ain't doing this again. So that's why I'm only on season 2. But it's really good. And the way it's filmed is a particular style to the way it's been produced. And it's raw and it's just tense. And it's, there's not many things on TV like it, I would say. Really enjoying it despite its, explicitness.
Okay. I might get around to it, but like I said, I saw the trailer. I was in that kind of frame of mind. I was like, I can't take hardcore violence. Do you know what I mean? There's times it don't really bother me.
I know. To be honest, I love Walking Dead, and that's part of the reason I haven't gone back to Walking Dead in a while, because I just can't really face it.
Yeah. It is funny, isn't it? Because there's some shows I watch it which have violence, but it's kind of like I wasn't necessarily expecting it, but I'm kind of into the show now, so I'll stick with it.
Also, there's a type of violence as well.
Yeah.
It's like Into the Badlands. I could watch that kind of violence all day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's so larger than life. You could deal with it.
I'll say you got the skills, you got the martial arts skills going on. You just got people getting taken out left, right, and centre. That's all good, man. Yeah. But I just can't take people getting bludgeoned and just.
I'll tell you what, like, for example, I just watched Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen it?
Yeah. What did you think of it?
Well, first of all, there's a bit where my Woody Harrelson character.
Woody Harrelson?
Not Woody Harrelson. What am I talking about? What's his name? The guy with the southern drawl. It's he's the guy with the I call it the magic knitting needle that he just.
Oh yeah. Is it Zonda? Or something
yeah. Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
And it's a bit where he's just walking through a ship whistling. Yeah, and my boy's literally killing 100 people.
Yeah.
Without batting an eyelid, and that's rough, man. But it's like that's kind of fun you just do it because it's just kind of cartoon violence. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And that was good. So what did I think of it? I really enjoyed it. If you forced me to rate them, I would put the first one, and I'd keep the first one on top.
Yeah.
But it's like everyone was saying to me, "Oh, it's so much better than the first one. It's really good." And I was like, "It was good." I felt that they fell into a bit of a trap, and they'd established certain character traits for each of the characters, and they had to push those character traits to death.
Yeah.
Almost. So I did enjoy it, but I thought I saw a little bit of a rut developing.
Because you want to talk about it. I mean, I literally can't add to that because I agree with that. I probably enjoyed it slightly less than you did by the sound of it.
Okay.
Mainly because again, do you know what I mean? I ain't knocking people that really, really enjoyed it, thought it's better than the first one. That's fine. I don't know. I think for me, I found the first one so in some ways unique. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That it felt. I just felt like the second film just felt a bit of a. Somehow it felt a retread, and even though the story was different. I was just about to say it felt like a retread in that rather than move things on, it tried to do the same things with the characters it had already done. Yeah,
if that makes sense.
Yeah, and like you say, do you know what I mean? Even on its worst day, I still enjoyed it, which is what
I did enjoy the relationship between Rocket Raccoon and
Zonda. Yeah, I'd agree with that. In many ways, he was the main one that had
growth. Really.
Growth.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, yeah, three quick comics, like real quick. I'm going to mention. First up is Mulp issue 4. Now, people who don't know what Mulp is, I should say the full title is Mulp, Scepter of the Sun. Mulp's basically anthropomorphic. It's a comic with animals. Do you know what I mean? And this one is basically a kind of Indiana Jones with a bit of Tintin, a bit of Rainbow Orchid, if you remember that, with mice. And it follows the exploits of Jack Redpath and Vicky Jones as they attempt to unravel the mystery surrounding an ancient stone tablet unearthed during an archaeological excavation in Egypt. This tablet is the first marker on an adventure that sees them racing around the world in search of legendary treasure. And no, I didn't just read it off their site. And yes, I read issue 4, as I always do with the issue of Mulp. I read it with a packet of Rich Tea biscuits and a cup of tea, or mug of tea.
Seems suitable.
It is suitable, and again, fantastic. And again, since we're on that bit of an all ages comics tip, if you're looking for all ages comics, something with a bit of action in there, I would certainly check out Mulp. Brilliant, and just lovely art from Sarah as well.
Yeah.
And really quickly, at Thought Bubble, I picked up Flimsy's Guide to Modern Living, which is by Rachel Smith.
Yep.
Who did The Rabbit. And when I actually picked this up from her, I actually said to her, I'll only buy this if you can guarantee there ain't any giant rabbits in it.
Oh, yeah.
If you've read The Rabbit, you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And she said no. But basically, it's a cat. And it's just... It is what it says. It's basically this cat's guide to modern living. It's great.
Oh, fair enough.
Basically, it's just things like decide every morning in a good mood, and there's just a picture of a cat in bed against the pillow holding up his paws.
Yeah.
And it's like, take pride in your appearance. There's a cat in front of a mirror with a hat on saying yes. I actually picked it up for Sue, and she absolutely loved it. And this is the thing I was saying to someone at Thought Bubble. This idea of getting people into comics, right? People need to stop this whole thing about someone comes up to you and says, I want to start reading comics. and they just give you a list that starts with Watchmen, ends with Mouse. Do you know what I mean? Probably got Kingdom Come in there and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Find out what people are into. Find out what genres they like. Find out what TV shows they watch. And then, you know what I mean? Then go that way and give them comics that are going to reflect that, not just a list of the comics, he says in inverted commas. As I said, I gave her that and she absolutely loved it. And then I followed that up by giving her Genspiration issue 2, which is by... Have you read any Genspiration?
Yeah, I have. A while, not in a while. But.
Yeah. It's an autobiographical comic by Jenny Gilbeard. I can never say her name.
Yeah, I just noticed I wasn't rushing to help you out.
Yeah, thanks for that, buddy.
Yeah.
So, she calls herself the Genmeister, so that's good enough.
Yeah, there we go.
And it's fantastic. She's got 4 in total anyway, and I'm on number 2 now. A little bit rude, a little bit risque, but it is so much fun and well worth picking up, people. There we go, boom. We're gonna go over, aren't we?
We are. So it goes.
Yeah, so it goes.
Cool. Was there another one?
Nope.
Okay, cool. In that case, let's move on and talk about what we want to talk about today, really, which is Star Trek Discovery. Folks, it's time to talk Star Trek Discovery. And for all of those listeners out there who are listening to this on headphones, and not just headphones, but quality headphones that you spend money on, I can only apologise for the last 30 seconds.
There's actually 6 cats sitting outside the door swaying. One of them's now got his paw looking, no, keep going, man.
Yeah, see? Yeah, that says everything.
Yeah, okay,
well, the theme tune for Star Trek Discovery, it says the original theme composer was Alexander Courage. All of this year, I never knew that. All of this time, I never knew that was his name.
Didn't you?
I would have mentioned that every day to somebody if I knew that. Alexander Courage. I mean, come on, the guy deserves his own little mini-series.
Yeah, he does, actually.
Wow. So I've only seen... I know that on Netflix, they're doing it week by week on Netflix.
So before we catch up, how are we doing this? Are we doing a little 5-minute what we thought and then some spoiler? Okay, cool.
We're not going to spoil it. If we are going to spoil anything, we'll give you warning and then give a little gap so to give you time to hit pause or whatever you need to do. But we'll let you know. And we'll be fair with that. Just a little introduction in Star Trek Discovery is on Netflix and they've released the first 2 episodes together. I've seen the first part of that. Have you seen it all?
Yeah, so I've seen the first 2 episodes that they've released.
Yeah. So, thoughts?
I've got to say,
so you're not allowed to spoil it for me either.
No, exactly. No, just overall, I enjoyed it. I thought it looked, effects-wise, I thought like I was watching a Star Trek film.
Yeah. I thought that looking at like the costumes, because they were ornate and detailed, and there was a whole heap of them, and you know what I mean?
So to begin with, the kind of production value of it all was they done spend money on this show. You know what I mean? So overall, I liked it. I think it picked up much more in the second episode.
Well, I like the pace of the first one.
Here's my thing with it, right? I like the pacing of it, yeah? But my problem with it is because it's an ongoing story, or certainly that's how it seems to be, I feel for me, I would have liked it to have been if they'd just dropped the episodes in one go. That's just me. That's kind of where I am now. Do you know what I mean? Though.
They released them both at the same time.
Yeah, but there's 15 episodes.
Oh, you mean you wish they'd done the normal Netflix thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder why they didn't.
I don't know. Just because, I was watching a thing. They've got like an after show thing about it, I only got 5 minutes into it because it was awful. But I listened enough of it to know that they were still filming episode 15. So
okay.
You know what I mean? But I think tonally now with a lot of the Netflix shows, I found for me they tended to work better when I've watched them in bulk. Not necessarily the whole thing in one go, but certainly like 3-4 episodes.
See, that doesn't bother me because it's impossible for me to watch that many episodes in one go anyway. So even if they had, I'd still be on the same schedule.
No, true that. But I mean, it's I think as well, I'm just coming off the back as well of there's a whole kind of into the Badlands vibe with this. Stay with me because I've just finished watching the second season of The Expanse.
Yeah.
Which I pretty much binged because I was watching it a lot of the time when I was away up in Leeds and stuff, and when I was on holiday. And it was season 2, fantastic, better than season 1. But it certainly felt like every episode felt like I was getting a few chapters of a book, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And
tonally, that's kind of what I felt like when I was watching this. This was like, you know what I mean, the first 2 chapters or whatever it was. So, you know what I mean, it's not to say a dig, but it's just a preference for me. That's all really.
Yeah. But like I say, I ain't really got a choice in it. And also, I watched it with Siobhan, and that means I'll be watching it on a much slower schedule than normal anyway. So, but it finished and she went, that was brilliant. I'm happy to watch that. Part of me's going, yeah, because, you know, I like sharing good stuff with my wife. And there's another part of me going, oh, damn it, that means I've got to slow down my pace of watching.
Committed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why I'm not up to date on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., you know?
You got to get on that, man.
I know. It's just Soniqua Martin Green, who stars as Michael Burnham, which threw me for a loop. I was like, Michael? I didn't realise. I was like, something vaguely familiar about her, and I didn't realise I recognised her from Walking Dead until I looked it up. She looks so different. Initially, I was like, I'm finding her acting quite wooden. Yeah, and I actually found myself checking her ears.
Do you know what? I was doing the same. I did the same thing once. The same thing. I was like, what? Why is she behaving like that?
Yeah. And then when I realised that she was brought, I was like, okay, all makes sense. That's okay. I can live with the acting now.
Yeah, we'll get into that more in the spoiler bit. I know that's veering towards spoiler territory.
Yeah, okay. Well, what I will say is, so yeah, I'm not going to say that was the best science fiction I've watched in years, because it's not. But I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking at a lot of and it's really interesting. The internet today has just been full of split opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, really split down the middle. It's like there's no one side coming out stronger than the other. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of I've read a lot of the people's complaints, and I'm like, A, fair enough, but that don't bother me in the slightest. Or 2, do you know what I mean? Kind of deal with it. Because a lot of, basically, the part of the problem with being an avid fan is that things aren't going to make you happy. So you get questions, oh, well, you know, the insignia isn't right. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Okay, but is it good? Do you know what I mean? And for me, you know, there's certain things that you're not going to get. And I just see it as the same as, well, Wolverine doesn't wear yellow and brown spandex.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Let's deal with that. The one thing that did jar with me was, and I get, when they made the original Star Trek series, which this is set before, you know, they had tape spools going. You know, they had old tech because it was an old show. They couldn't conceive of the tech we have now. So you've got to make something that appeals to the general public. So it's got to have up-to-date tech because it's sci-fi, but it's also set before the original series. So how do you do that? And they've obviously decided we're not even going to try and bother. Blatantly, in my mind, which I find a bit sad because I think you could have gone for a retro feel. And the reason I think they could have done that is because in the last Star Trek movie, where they came across an old ship, it was retro looking.
Yeah,
and they didn't go back to tape spools. Yeah, they had modern tech, but it looked retro, and that retro feel really. Oh, I remember watching that and going, "Oh, maybe this is what Star Trek Discovery's going to be like. Maybe it's going to be about one of these ships." And I was like, "Yeah." So but it's like they completely went, "Nah, let's sod that." And I think that's a bit of a shame, but it is what it is.
My thing, it's just like you said, I've just got to accept it. But my thing is, it's kind of like one of the things that I loved about the new Star Trek films, is they took the time to try to mix, to try to show us like Kirk's time, but do it in a way so you still got the kind of retro stuff, but at the same time it still felt new.
Yeah.
It still looked sort of new and shiny, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like when it was going to warp, it was a proper lever that, like, Sulu was pushing and stuff like that. And even the outfits and stuff, do you know what I mean? There were the outfits that we remembered, but they still looked a little bit jazzed up.
Yeah.
But my thing is kind of like, I ain't being funny, right? But just from a fashion perspective, right? Why would you go from the outfits that they're busting in Discovery? Because Discovery is set before Kirk.
Yeah.
Right? Why would you go from them outfits and someone's going to turn up and go, do you know what? I think it'd be a great idea. Let's turn up those trousers and put some boots on there.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Anyone who's a woman, let's put her in like a 2-inch skirt. But we're in jumpsuits. I don't care. Get that off. Put on that skirt. It just, and like you say, that's where you just got to say to your Star Trek, you're in a Star Trek fan, look, just holy noise. It's new. I know, man. I know. Just holy noise.
Yeah.
It's tough. Because even the whole time travel thing don't explain it. That don't explain it.
No, it don't.
Because that ain't happened yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But the other thing that the other thing that annoyed me a little bit, and it made me sigh a bit, and it was the exact. It happened in Doctor Who, because basically the Klingons have become Doctor Who's Daleks now. It's like, yeah, we're doing Star Trek, we're doing Doctor Who. Where's the Daleks? Here we go. And it's like, we're doing Star Trek. Where's the Klingons? Here they are. And I'm like, oh man, does it always have to be the Klingons?
Yeah. Well, and also as well, man, them Klingons are changed up, man.
But that's all right, because if you get pictures of Klingons throughout the ages, man,
yeah, they do seem to change quite a bit.
It's like Klingons looking different is just part of Star Trek now. Do you know what I mean? Just...
But I mean, they've gone from like just having a beard to like, do you know what I mean? A pretty drastic change, man. But also as well,
what they're trying to say, there's genetic diversity amongst them.
Yeah,
it don't all look the same. We're different. We're the lost tribe. Of course, we develop differently. And I was like, okay, I quite like that.
Yeah. Though the outfits don't look very practical for fighting, though. Just saying.
Maybe that's just their chilling outfits. Maybe that's like their smoking gowns. You know what I mean? That's what they do when they're sitting in the lounge. They're chilling. Yeah.
Hey, when I like to drink blood wine, I like to chill out in my Kaplaf cloak.
Yeah,
Get it now on Amazon.
Get it now on Amazon.
Do you know what? I think before we get into like the spoilers, I just want to give what's her name needs to get her own, like, well, she's got her own show anyway, but she needs to get another show. The captain.
Oh, played by Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because she's good, man.
She's good. She's so good.
I think the problem that I had is the sort of main character, because she's the main character. She, acting wise, she's good, and everyone else is kind of good in it. But whenever the captain was on screen, it was kind of like, boy, you lot need to put your A game, because she's just actually all out of the park
without trying.
Without even trying. That's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I think it's about time.
Okay, people, it's time for spoilers. We're not just going to start. We're going to wait. It's going to be a 5 seconds break while you can find your pause buttons. Starting now.
Or grab a cup of blood wine.
In your smoking jacket. In your Klingon smoking jacket.
After I've slaughtered the Federation planet, I like to relax with a cup of blood wine and my Klingon smoking jacket.
That is it. Right then, it's spoiler time. Where do you want to start on this one?
Right, I'm going to go straight for it. Right, Nah, like I said already.
Actually, I just wanted to ask you, sorry to cut you there.
That's cool.
Theme tune, because I know music's important.
Do you know what? A lot of people are kicking off about the theme tune. I thought it was alright.
I thought it was alright. I don't think it was. It's not one. It's not one that's going to stick in my head.
No.
But, it's alright.
Also, as well, man, I'm just grateful that they've done something orchestral, man. Because I've got to come out and say that one,
rock.
the one for not Voyager, Enterprise, man, that was awful. If anyone's going to say Discovery soundtrack is rubbish. You know what I mean? If anyone wants to hear like a good intro, I need to listen to the Enterprise one. I'm like, I'm sorry, dude, I can't follow you down that road.
Yeah.
Awful. But to be honest, because I was watching it on Netflix and I watched the first episode and then the second one popped up and it does a thing where you can skip the intro. So I just skip the intro now with a lot of things. So I don't always get the...
I like that little function.
Yeah, it's nice, man.
What I find is if I'm watching the last one, then I won't skip it. It's the last one, I'll listen to it.
But yeah, I just want to get straight to it, right? So I'm just trying to make sure this happens in the first episode.
God.
So Michael, she does something stupid in the first episode, right?
Yes, very stupid.
Right, okay. Something to do with trying to take over the ship.
Yep, that's the one.
Okay. Right, okay. So here's my problem, right? What the hell? Literally, what the hell?
She got issues, but she was making mistakes from day one. It's like, I'm just gonna go do a flyby. Tell you what, let me go and stand on it. I'm moving it closer to get a look. I'm gonna land on it. Why? And then it was like, my presence seems to have activated something. To me, that is synonymous with get the hell out of Dodge.
Exactly.
But she just stood there, and then some Klingon turns up. She realized Klingon, and she goes, "My name is what?
Get the heck out of Dodge." And then you kill him by accident.
Yeah. You get rescued. You're in danger of genetic unspooling. You're still getting out of bed. And I was like, she got out of bed. She's got to tell the captain. I get that, but you're about to be genetically unspooled. I'm sure they've got an intercom. I'm sure. If they could talk to you across space, you could talk to someone on the bridge without leaving the room. I'm sure that's possible. I was like,
I didn't get it. I just didn't. Because here's my thing, right? The problem is they've set the standard for what you expect from a number one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, she has got issues. Yeah, I mean, family.
No, man. But you know what I mean? You look at Riker, man. Riker had his issues as well, man. But here's my problem was. My problem isn't so much of what she did. My problem was from a character perspective. They didn't give me enough of her character for me to go, do you know what? I could see that coming.
I don't know.
No, because you know they made the whole thing about like her family got wiped out by the Klingons, right? In my mind, now I ain't making the show, so you know what I mean. But in my mind, if they'd give me a little flashback, I know they did a little bit in there, but if it almost started with her family getting wiped out, and they kind of amped that up a little bit.
I was okay with that because they did the bit where she was in that learning bubble or whatever. And the minute they went there, she was doing great. And the minute that happened, she just couldn't do it. And we've already seen that she's impulsive. It's a flyby. You don't, number one, you don't need to be out there. Number two, you shouldn't have been landing on it. Do you know what I mean? She's shown her impulsiveness. And actually, she was beginning to annoy me. Not so much that I don't want to watch it, but it really made me happy to see the captain point the phaser at her.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's shoot her.
That'll learn her.
That'll learn her. And I literally thought, shoot her. You could even do it on stun.
But I suppose my thing is, right, and this is how I had to sell it to myself to get past it, right? I saw that, and I suppose that was probably some of my problem. I saw what she did similar to what Picard was dropping in First Contact.
Yeah.
You know, the whole kind of like, you know what I mean? They invade our space, we fall back, not this time, and all that when he loses his shit.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of how I saw it, similar to that. But my problem is I had a lot of emotional baggage with Picard to back that up. So when you got to that breaking point, I was like, and when he was mouthing off with Worf, that's why I was like, oh man, you done lost your mind. Do you know what I mean? To
me, it's all about how it plays out from now, because she's... Do you know what I mean? Starfleet are going to be a little bit wary about her now. and they should be. So it would work. And and they were already like, it's like when she went to interrupt the captain, and she was talking to the admiral, and he just looked at her like she was a piece of trash. It was basically saying, "You best hold your noise, number one, because you might have started something."
Yeah.
And so if they, she's unpopular now, and they need to play that. They can't just ignore that and let it go.
Yeah, yeah. And I think as well, the other thing as well, because they're established, right? So I think it's an interesting thing that they're trying to do, because this whole point of like she's human but she's raised by the Vulcans is a kind of, it's a nice flip on the Spock and the human side.
Especially
right?
as she's not trying to sit on her emotions either. It's like she said to Sarok, whatever his name is.
Yeah, Sarek, Spock's dad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which is another thing, right? Which is something that someone else pointed. It sounds like it's all digs. I'm just getting the digs out of the way, right? But someone said this in the review, and I kind of agree with this. Is like, you know what, right? Until Sarek popped up, it didn't need it.
No, it didn't need it.
The show's holding its own, right? You don't need to be. By the way, in case you didn't know, kids, there's Sarek, Spock's dad, clang. Do you know what I mean? It didn't, in many ways, that kind of took me, it didn't need it.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree.
That guy, I didn't have a problem with her having, a Vulcan stepdad, or whatever you call it. I don't know, you know what I mean? I didn't have a problem with that, because I thought them scenes were quite cool.
Yeah.
But I just felt that he could have been any Vulcan. He didn't need to be Sarek, because like you said, I could have sat Sue down with that and she might have enjoyed it, and it would have made a blind bit of difference to her who the Vulcan guy was. And I would have to turn to her and go, by the way, that's Spock's dad. And she would have been like, I don't really care. And I think a lot of fans aren't necessarily going to go, oh, wow, that's great. In my mind, unless you've got the dude, he's probably dead now, but unless you get a dude who's actually Sarek, I'm not interested, but it didn't. That's my only other worry, is they're going to start throwing in them little Easter eggs. I'm like, I don't care. It didn't need it. It was doing all right on its own. Just let it run its course.
Yep, I completely agree.
But I enjoyed it, and I did enjoy the fact that you did have a number one in there that was a little bit different to the number ones that we've seen, which are literally just extensions of Kirk.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think when they brought in Picard, they kind of stopped. It was almost like, now that we've done Picard the way we've done Picard, we can't really have him being more Kirk-like. So we'll just get Riker to do all the kind of Kirk stuff. Do you know what I mean? So it's quite nice what they're trying to do, trying to give us someone a bit different. And also as well, I think I have to retrain myself, because Star Trek for me has always been a reset show. Do you know what I mean by that?
Go on.
As in, you tended to, except for Deep Space Nine.
That's why I was like, that's what I was pausing, because you love Deep Space Nine, and there was no way that was a reset show. No,
not to begin with. It was, and then it changed. But if I'm looking at like next gen, I'm talking about like Next Generation and original Star Trek. It was literally, they would turn up, solve a problem, come out of dodge, episode done.
Yeah.
And no matter what extreme things happened to their crew, the next episode, everything was all good again. And this is very different.
You've got a single story running through the whole thing.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking as well is, so a lot of the issues I had with her, to begin with, I'm kind of like, well, you know what? I'm going to just hold it down a bit, because I'm hoping what we're going to get, we can't not get it. Jeez, it's 15 episodes, I'm hoping we're going to get a shed load of character development and arcs and whatever.
Like you said, so, we can't not get it.
Yeah, so we'll start to see.
I don't know what happens at the end of episode 2, but there's things that are going to take us to the Discovery, because this isn't the ship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, so what happens there? And in my mind, and I, it may have happened already, but in my mind, Michonne's going to bite the dust, and the ship's going to get mashed up and whatever.
Can I just say something, which is...
No, don't tell me if it's going to spoil anything.
Just mate, right? I'm not being funny, yeah? But it's probably my biggest criticism is the fact that it's so blatantly obvious that this event is going to happen.
Okay, all right, yeah.
Right? Because you've just said it.
Yeah. But you know,
and I don't even feel a way saying it to you because
I felt that in the first. It was like for the first 5 minutes.
Mate, the minute they turned up on the plate and they're walking together, I was like, well, she's dead.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And they're going to play it for a surprise. You know?
I even knew when it something that they decide something, and I'm like, well, shit coming out of that. And I think that was probably my biggest issue was actually she was a fantastic character. And they had a good relationship, and I would have rathered see that play out, the fact that she's disgraced herself in front of the captain and effectively ruined that relationship.
Yeah.
And there's a broken trust and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know how it's going to play out. But do you know what I mean? If she'd end up on Discovery and that other captain still had a ship, and maybe later when they've got to try and...
Yeah, that would have been nice.
Yeah. That would have been nice. To me, that was just... To me, killing her is just a safe option.
Yeah.
It's simple as it's just a safe option. And I think it was also as well, don't put someone as guest starring in a show as a captain.
No. The thing is, the minute you say guest star, we know exactly what the score. It's like when you watch your usual crime police TV show, it says guest star, you go, oh, they did the murder then. They're the villain. How'd you know? Because they're moderately famous and it says guest star. Do you know what I mean? Right there, it's all done. It's all over now.
You've got to watch Columbo to see that, man.
Yeah, exactly. It's all over now. And it's like, come on, if you... Yeah.
But yeah, so that was probably my biggest issue with it. It was that 5 minutes in, I was like... A lot of the other stuff that happened, I didn't see coming, to be fair. But that, I was just like, she's dead. And I don't even know why I'm even invested in her. And that goes to show how good she was on the show, because I was still invested in her.
Yeah.
Hoping I was going to be proven wrong.
So it goes. Tragedy, man.
Yeah. She gets, I have to say, number one, Michael. She definitely got better in the second episode. I'm not going to spoil it, but I don't want to say got better.
Well, she has to, because she's got to learn from the experience. And B,
it's an arc.
And B, people kind of have to... and also, it's the first episode. It's a pilot, man. And I always go... especially people going, the acting was terrible. I'm like, well, do you know what? Let it settle. Let it settle. If you enjoyed the show, let it settle. If you didn't enjoy it, get out.
Yeah. Also as well, man, I don't mean to... And that's why I've got to be... I like to give things the benefit of that. Because at the end of the day, I'm sorry, right? Because I was old school, and I came off the back of old school Star Trek with Kirk and Kirk and the boys. And whether or not you liked the old school Star Trek, or whether you came in at Next Generation, whatever. When I sat down, right, and I watched that first episode of the Next Generation Encounter to Farpoint, I remember turning to my brothers and going, "What the hell is this, man?"
I thought that whole first season was rubbish.
Most of it was a retread of stories that we'd already seen.
Just about to, I was like, what was the point of that?
Done poorly.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it was terrible.
Wolfie was supposed to be like the toughest Klingon guy and got his ass whooped every episode. And there's a really great thing on YouTube, right, where it goes to show all the times like Wolf puts forward an idea and his ideas just get shut down. It's hilarious. Because no one listens to him. No one. You know what I mean? Captain, I suggest we fire forward. Play that order. So, what am I even doing there, man?
Yeah, no, exactly. Exactly. It was exactly. And Enterprise wasn't great.
No.
That ran for a while.
Time, man. But my point is, with Next Gen, which is what a lot of people are comparing it to, I don't care. The first episode Next Gen was awful. I didn't like that first season. Then they got their shit together. Borg came in and everything was all good in the hood. Right? Or good in Starfleet. So they only put out 2 episodes, right? Which I enjoyed overall. I enjoyed it. Yeah, it had its issues, but I enjoyed it. But at the same time, I'm thinking there's 13 episodes to go.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And maybe people can disagree with me, man. But I think the problem that we have now is we're just spoilt for choice. Because at the end of the day, if they'd stuck that out 15 years ago, we would be eating that up like it was KFC, like it was a bargain bucket on special. You know what I mean? But the thing now is we've got so many other sci-fi shows coming out at the moment as well that we're kind of spot for choice. So we are being extra picky, extra comparing things and stuff like that. And I just think just settle in, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Give it. If we get halfway and some of the issues that I had with it are still going, then all right, we've got a problem. But after 2 episodes, or in some people's case, after an episode, give it a chance. That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
Give peace a chance.
Give piece of this a chance.
And who knows, you might even discover a great show. See what I did there?
Well, I saw what you did. That's very nice. Very nice. But it's like, what's it called? Expanse. I've finished the first season. Loved it. And everyone keeps saying the second season's better. I love the first season of it. And then you've got Dark Matter. You've got Killjoys, which I haven't even got. Do you know what? I haven't even got time to look at those. They're not quite on the level of Expanse for me. So I'm going to have to park them. You know what I mean? There's a lot out there. And I've started watching the Orville.
Do you know? See, this is the other one. People keep talking about this show. I thought this show was just supposed to be like a sitcom or something.
No, I don't understand. I'm confused, B. I'm confused.
Have you seen it then?
Oh, yeah, I watched the first episode and I'm like, this ain't no serious. It's basically, it's Star Trek comedy.
Right.
But the problem is, it's not all. Here's the problem. Yeah, it's funny, but it's not an out and out comedy. It's trying to take itself somewhat seriously amidst the comedy. The problem is, it's such a Star Trek parody that you can't take it seriously amongst the comedy.
Right.
So it just feels a little like it's having a bit of an identity crisis. And you know what? It might decide on something at the end of the day. I watched it, and I watched it with Siobhan, and we both went, yeah, that was fun. Watch that again. But like people are comparing it. I don't understand. They're two different. I don't know. It's only like a 20-minute one, so watch the first one.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I will do. I think it's part of the reason I checked out, because I've got the way people were talking about it, and like you say, comparing it to Discovery, I've got in my head it was like an hour show.
Some people go, like one person, you know who you are, was like, yeah, I preferred Orville to Discovery. What Discovery was shit. Orville was much better. And I'm like, but people are like, yeah, enjoyed Orville or didn't enjoy it now for Discovery. And I'm like, how are you equating the two things? One's a comedy based on the Star Trek universe, and one is in the Star Trek universe. But then someone else said, that Orville was more Star Trek than Star Trek Discovery. Because there's a lot of people saying it doesn't feel like Star Trek, and I just don't understand that statement.
To be honest, I was just going to say, that's the thing that I struggled with, because I saw people saying that, and I was kind of like, I don't understand, because I was kind of like, when it starts off, they're trying to help a planet. They're trying to, they're trying to help a species, and they're not trying to get noticed because of the Prime Directive.
It's classic Star Trek.
It's classic Star Trek. And there's even a bit where they're kind of talking, they go, well, Starfleet don't fire first and whatever.
That line, that was a great line.
Yeah, it's classic.
That's classic Star Trek.
So I'm a bit confused.
And Klingons, it's classic Star Trek.
I'm a bit confused.
I'm totally confused by that sentence.
I don't know. And generally, I'm not even saying it as a dig. I kind of would like someone to explain to me what they mean by that statement. It's not Star Trek. I don't get it. If Han Solo walked onto the bridge with like Chewie or something, hey Chewie, we're home. Oh, that would have been it.
Yeah, that doesn't feel like Star Trek.
That doesn't feel like Star Trek.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I get it, but I don't know. I don't understand.
Nah, me neither.
So, yes. So I will say the second episode I enjoyed. Actually, I think what was quite good is because I watched them back to back, it basically felt like a 2-hour movie.
I wish I had. The only Siobhan was really tired, wanted to go to bed, and I was like, oh man, I just wanted to keep going.
Off the record, Sue had said to me about, we watched the trailer and she's kind of like, I'm a bit in two minds about it. And I was like, you know what, love, I don't think you like it.
Oh, really?
But in my mind, there was...
I see what you did. I see what you did there.
Because I was like, you know what, I've got to take one. I can't do that kind of like. So we watched Discovery. No, I don't fancy it. We can watch it at the weekend. I'm like, you know what, I can't do that this time. I can't do it. You know what I mean? So, but to be fair, and also as well, I think after I watched it, I'd rather than just go, actually, I think you might like it.
Yeah.
Now that I've got the first two episodes, I've kind of got that.
I did that with The Expanse, and now she's just cussing me. This looks really good. Yeah, but I didn't think you'd be interested. But I like the look of it, and what you're talking about. I was like, yeah. So, damn as shit.
Yeah, but it's worth it, man, because The Expanse is good, and you can't afford to let that.
I did get through that quite quickly once I got into it.
So good, man.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to season 2.
I don't think when I say the second season is better, actually, I disagree with that. It's not that the second season is better; it's that it's better from the fact that the story moves along. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're into. Yeah, I'm invested now. You know what I mean? So I'm enjoying where it's going, I guess, is what I mean.
Right.
Whereas it's a little bit like season 2 into Badlands. You know it's going to be quality, so you could just settle down.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, I don't know. Yeah. Well, let's call it a day, shall we?
Yep.
So, you've heard what we've talked about, especially Star Trek. Let us know let us know the answer to those questions. Why does it not feel like Star Trek? Genuinely
Interested.
Yeah. So, well, let us know if you agree with us or you don't disagree. Blimey. Let us know if you agree with us or you disagree with us, all of that stuff. Get in touch. You know how to do it. You can do it by emailing at thegeeks@geeksyndicate.co.uk. You can get hold of us on Twitter, on Facebook, check out Pinterest, etc., etc. And don't forget to check out the website, geeksyndicate.co.uk.
Also, as well, sadly to announce that Cockney Camelot didn't really work out. So we've had to end the run early. However, bright news is I am putting together a Kickstarter for my new show, which is Red Shirts Never Die.
I could almost hear the theme tune.
Yeah, which is going to be another one-man show, me in a red shirt.
Not dying.
Not dying.
Against the wishes of the fan community.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay.
Story of my life, really. So look out for the Kickstarter for that soon, people.
Yeah.
Excellent. Or failing that, Cockney Star Trek. See how that goes.
Cockney Star Trek. I'm sure that's on YouTube.
No, you're thinking Cockney Star Wars, where the blokes they do that bloke up as like he's Darth Vader, but they've taken all the dialogue from.
Now I've got to look.
No, you're right. No, you are right. There is a Cockney Star Trek.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
There is. It's genius.
It is.
It's a Klingons, Jim. He's trying to mug us off. Jim.
That's the one.
I'm not having that. It's being proper, the we.
Yeah, they've got a Scottish Star Trek as well. Okay, that's me. That's my time taken care of for the next 15 minutes. Time you left, man.
Likewise.
Yeah. All right. So till next time, Geek Syndicate. We out.